Hello children, welcome to video classes for class 8. In our class 8, the subject social studies is divided into 24 chapters. Today we are going to learn the first chapter, that is reading and analysis of maps. Reading and analysis of maps. In earlier classes, in class 6 and class 7, we learned something about maps. What is a map? How maps are made? What is a sketch? What is the difference between a sketch and a map? What are the symbols used in a map? What are the characteristics or important features of a map? And different types of maps. We have learned all these things in our earlier classes. In this class, we are going to learn some more things about the maps. In this class, we are going to learn these topics. Look at this. We are going to study about the differences between a map and a photograph, the similarities between a map and a photograph, the history of maps in India, the history of maps from the world, how maps were made in ancient days, and we'll discuss the different types of schools in map making. These are the topics we are going to discuss in this lesson. First, I will show you some pictures. Okay, have you seen them? What are they? What do you find in those visuals? Yes, they are maps. They are different maps. The first map is world map. The second map is India map. And the third map is Telangana map. These are the three types of maps you have seen. And now see some more pictures. Now you have seen two pictures. What do you find in those pictures? What are they about? Yes, they are about places. They are about different places. First one is the photograph of world, and the second one is the photograph of India. These photographs were taken by a satellite from the sky. Do you find any differences between these two images, the ones you have seen earlier and the ones you have seen now? These, the first ones are maps and the second ones are photographs. Now we will discuss what are the differences between a map and a photograph. Okay, let us look at the table. The first difference is map is a graphical representation of a place, while a photograph is an image taken with a camera. The second difference is map shows many features about a place like annual rainfall, the soil types, population, crop grown there, etc. But the photograph cannot show any of these features, but the general features. The third difference is map does not show any real features, while the photograph shows all the real features. Photograph shows the place as it is. The fourth difference is, to understand a map, we need an index. but there is no need of index as the photograph is a self-explanatory. The last difference is maps are generally made from vertical view. That is, maps are made from the top view, while photographs are taken generally from horizontal view. That means photos are taken from front side. These are the main differences between a map and a photograph. Children, please note down these differences in your notebook and try to understand them. Okay. Up to now, we have discussed the differences between a map and a photo. You might have understood very well. Now let us go for the similarities. Do you find any similarities between a map and a photo? Yes, there are some similarities. First one is both map and a photo tell something about a place. These two things tell something about a place to us. That is a similarity between these two. And the second one is in these two, the real size, the actual size of the place is reduced so that we can have an easy look. So in both the map and in photo, the actual size of a place is reduced. These are the two similarities you have to remember. Now we will go to another topic, that is the history of the maps. You might have come across many doubts about maps, like who invented maps, or who made first maps in the world, in which part of the world the people made the maps. You might have the doubts like this: were the maps drawn on paper in earlier days or on something other material? All these doubts will be clarified in this session. Start the history of maps with our country, India. In India, the people in the ancient times have been speculating about the rivers, the skies, the oceans, and the land, all these things. The early human beings depicted some pictures on the caves they lived. Such type of a painting was found in Jawara village in Madhya Pradesh. In India, there are a lot of cave paintings depicting these pictures. Such speculations continued in Vedic period and Puranic time also. The people of Vedic times and the Puranic times also have some speculations about the sky, land, oceans, seas, and rivers. Now look at the map that was drawn based on the slokas of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is an Indian epic which describes the story of Kauravas and Pandavas. According to that, just like a man sees his face in the mirror, so does the earth appears in the universe. In the first phase, you see people leaves, and the next phase you see a rabbit. Based on this sloka, Saint Ramanujacharya sketched out the map, but the world laughed it off on seeing some leaves and a rabbit. Much later, when the picture was switched upside down, the reality struck in. Don't you believe this? Try turning the above picture upside down and you will know what I am talking about. Look at the picture showing the round world surrounded by water as conceived in Mahabharata. In the center you see the Meru Parvata. In the top you see Milky Ocean, and below the Salt Ocean. In a concentric circle with Mount Meru at the center, 7 islands surrounded by 7 seas are arranged. This was the conception according to Mahabharata. India, that is Bharatavarsha, was located on one of the islands called Jambudvipa. Architects prepared elaborate plans for Vedic sacrificial altars and buildings, and a few sketches of these have survived, especially from the medieval period. We also get references to a number of pictorial maps depicting places, especially pilgrim centers. Sailors who sail along the sea coasts of Indian Ocean too may have maintained elaborate maps or sketches of the coastline giving location of ports and islands. Look at the picture. Who is he? Have you identified him? He is Aryabhatta, a famous Indian mathematician belonging to 5th century. He used the concepts of longitudes and latitudes in fixing the location of a place. The maps made by him was not available now. The longitudes and latitudes are the lines that are drawn across and vertical to the earth. Look at the picture of longitudes and latitudes. Stop. Now let us move to the Mughal period. During this period, you know that 6 important emperors ruled India between 1526 to 1707. Among them, Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb were very famous. In these times, the Indian map makers took the inspiration from Central Asian map makers and prepared the maps of different places. The one Sadiq Isfahani of Jaunpur prepared an atlas. Atlas contains, it is a book of maps. Look at the atlas. Atlas contains different types of maps, physical maps, political maps, and it contains maps of different places like world map, India map, and different continents, and even different states and different cities also. Now I ask a question, try to answer it. What is cartography? Do you know? Does anybody know? Yes. The cartography is an art or science of preparing or making maps. The cartography is an art or science of making or preparing maps. The persons involved in cartography are called cartographers. Now let us move to the world cartographers and cartography. The first will go to Iraq. Iraq is, in olden days it was called with different names, Mesopotamia, Sumeria, and Babylonia. 4,000 years ago, the people living in that area called Sumerians prepared maps. They have a lot of land segments for their temples. They wanted to keep record of the temples, so they prepared maps of the lands on the clay. They prepared the clay, they used the best clay, and when it is wet, they wrote on it with a stylus or a stick, and they let them dry it, and after that they burn it so that the map cannot be changed. These type of maps are known as clay tablets or clay maps. Look at the picture. These are some of the clay tablets found in the Sumeria. Now, these people made first of the world's earliest maps 4000 years ago. After some time, the people of Babylonia, called Babylonians, 2600 years ago, they prepared the first world map ever in the world. They had to prepare the map on the clay. These two people depicted the world in a different way. After this, we learn about the Greek cartographers or the geographers, map makers, Anaximander and the Hecataeus and Herodotus. These are the three people from Greek. They prepared wonderful maps, but they are not available to us now. And you know about Alexander the Great? He belongs to Macedonia of Greek origin. He wanted to conquer the world. In that process, he needed a lot of maps, and he came to India in those times using those maps. And the Romans are the people living in Italy and surrounding areas. The Romans also prepared some maps. Among them, Ptolemy is the greatest one. He was born in Alexandria in Egypt, but it was a part of Roman Empire then. He prepared maps using longitudes and latitudes. Longitudes and latitudes are the lines, the imaginary lines that were drawn across and the vertical to the earth. The sailors need accurate maps to locate the places correctly. So the Greeks tried to draw the maps with the help of longitudes and latitudes. Now look at the process or the method how they made the maps with the help of longitudes and latitudes. First, they take a map and started to locate the places where the midday happened at the same time. Like these dots, suppose these dots are different places. They started from north to south, locating the places where the midday occurred at the same place. Look at this. These three places have same midday time, and these places have same midday time. Like from north to south, they drew many lines vertically on the map like this. These are called noon lines or meridians, or we call it longitudes. At these places, at these all places, 1, 2 and 3, these three places, the midday occurred at the same places. So these are the lines that are drawn vertically to the map. Now they are also expertise to use the latitudes. How they use these latitudes, now we'll see. This, they try to locate the places where the equal length of the shadow is observed at the same time, that is at noon. They started locating the places where the length of the shadow at the noon time is equal. After that, they joined all these places, like you can see here. They started from east to west. The latitudes are these lines connecting the places where the length of the shadow is same at the midday. Look at these below. line. We can call these parallel lines as latitudes. These parallel lines are called latitudes. The lines that are drawn across the map are called latitudes. Like this, where the longitudes and latitudes meet at a place, this place is called grid. This grid tells us where the place is located. So in this method, the Greeks drew a world map. It took 2000 years to locate all the places of the world. So now we are using the longitudes and latitudes to locate the places. After that, Al-Idrisi is an Arabic map maker. He created a wonderful map depicting the world for his king in 1154. But the map he drawn as north in the south, down, south in the top. The earlier map makers used to make north in the top, south in the down. That is the main difference between these two maps. Now look at the maps drawn by Al-Idrisi. The European map makers mainly depended on the religious texts. This image has 3 continents. The first one is Asia, the second one is Libya, present Africa, and the third one is Europe. They prepared the maps mainly centering Asia. Why was Asia put in the middle? The answer is they thought that the place of birth of their prophet Jesus Christ was born in Jerusalem. Jerusalem was in the continent Asia, so they put the continent in the middle, and it is somewhat bigger. The other 2 continents, Europe and Africa, were put down in the south and in a smaller size compared to the Asian continent. After learning the concepts of Ptolemy, they changed their ideology. They are trying to draw the maps based on longitudes and latitudes. Around the year 1480, the Europeans rediscovered Ptolemy's books, but not the maps, and were stunned to learn about his accurate description of the location of the places. They prepared some new maps based on them. You can see one such map here. Now we will learn about the different schools of map making. During 15th century, the map makers from non-Arabic world, that is from Europe, developed different types of schools in map making inspired by the maps of Ptolemy. They were the Italian school of map making, the French school of map making, the English school of map making, and the German school of map making. During the 15th century, the Arabs blocked the trade to Asia. So many European countries wanted to travel to from the European countries to the Asian countries through sea. So they encouraged the map makers to draw the maps so that the sailors can reach these places securely. Such things happened during the time. Columbus discovered America. He started from Portuguese and crossed the Atlantic and reached the new continent that is now called the America. Likewise, Vasco da Gama started from Portugal and crossed the Atlantic Ocean and entered the Indian Ocean to reach India. These people took great help from the maps that were made by the geographers then. Today we have learned the mapping lesson. I think you might have understood very well. Now let us look into some questions. I hope you will do the homework. Thank you, children. Thank you for viewing this class, and we will meet in the next class with projection of maps. Thank you.